I'm sorry if the quality is garbage, but I'm driving. We're driving 2 hours to visit my best friend Corey out in Oregon, and so we kind of been busy the whole time. I was just gonna sit down at my desk on my table and just chat one-on-one. I was like, why? I'm about to be on the road for 2 hours with this guy. We might as well just knock it out here, killing 2 birds with 1 stone, not 2 stones, because that's too much work. So anyways, I'm here with my father. Sorry for such a delay on podcasting. I took like maybe a month and some change off, just because I just didn't feel like recording nothing. But now your boy's here. New phone, new days. I guess you can introduce yourself.
Oh, I can introduce myself after all that soliloquy, right?
Yeah.
All right, so, yeah, I am this dude's dad. My name is Arthur White Jr., the second in a line of Arthurs. But there will be no more after me. This dude right here is my eldest of 4 kids, and I'm out visiting him, enjoying 3 days of no work, eating like a madman, and going to the gym and just having a lot of philosophical conversations. It's been pretty cool. Nice to meet everybody. Hope y'all enjoy the podcast.
Yeah. Hope you enjoy. So, alright, so my rules for podcasting though, I don't like saying like names if it gets too, like, if you have like stories or stuff. If you want to say names of people, you can, because obviously if anything went down back in your age, there's statutes of limitations, all that stuff. We don't got to worry about nothing. So for me, I'm still young. I don't like saying names just because.
Yeah, so the only stories I'm going to tell about stories be stories about you, so.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, we have our philosophical conversations as well, so.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But before we started the podcast, we're gonna make this a natural conversation as much as it can be, because it's gonna get weird if we're like, oh, we're recording a podcast. So anyways, back to the conversation of about what the dude that you're talking to about hiring people and jobs. So we were talking about, we were passing this little town of Tumwater. I did a bunch of job interviews. And one thing that I realized is like, it's not really about if you meet the credentials of what they're looking for, but it's like that and then some. If you can actually be a part of the team and work well with others and like who you know, and if you mesh well with the guys interviewing you,
Yeah. So my mentor is telling me, and I've done this on interviews myself. When you interview a person, the first thing you think about is personality wise, how does this guy fit? So my mentor was telling me, he said, man, I reserve the right as the person that's doing the hiring to determine who I want to hire, whether that person is, going to be a good fit for my team, if I think this guy or this lady is going to, get along with me well, and I'm looking for, that star player that's going to fit my team and going to push me over the edge. So even though I might have somebody that meets all the checks in regards to certifications, ability, skill, education, all that kind of stuff, that is really an afterthought. After you get them in and you interview them and you really kind of break them down to figure out what kind of individual they are, how do they handle tough questions and stuff like that, and then you look at the team that you got and the team you're trying to build, and then you want to make sure that guy or that young lady is going to fit the bill to make the team better. You can be the smartest person in the world and still the dumbest person in the room. So a lot of times that's what they look at. Are you like this intellectual knucklehead that is unwilling to bend from just being the smart guy, not able to kind of fit the mold of what the character of the environment is. So that was an interesting thought, because I always thought, you got to meet the criteria. You hire the best person on paper. But he blew that out of the water. It's like, nah, you cannot have all the criteria. You may not even have the necessary degree, but are willing to go to school and get it, and willing to learn those skills. And hey, I'll hire you if you fit the team. So I was just like, yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. And it's good to go through a bunch of these interviews, because that's kind of something that you kind of pick up on. Because even if you're interviewing for a place that you know like, oh, I could do this job for sure, but then you're interviewing with the person and you're like, I don't even think I like this guy. So I don't even think I'd even like working here in the first place.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like things that you kind of pick up on, because overall it's a team. I mean, even though in my generation, the problem is that a lot of us will stay at a place for maybe a couple years and then we want to leave. But at the same time, I mean, those couple years, they still mean a lot. So it's like, I don't want to be somewhere for a couple years and hate it because the people I work with suck. Or I want to be here for a couple years, pick up what I need to know, and also establish relationships with pretty good people.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's generationally, because I'm a little bit older. There used to be a time where jumping jobs, hopping jobs was taboo. Even for me. Yep. But, as you know, hey, I take advantage of an opportunity in a minute. I don't have a problem if an opportunity presents itself. And I always, even in my current, not in necessarily my current job, but even in my current job, I'm always kind of looking at what's next. What's the next challenge? What I want to work? Where do I want to take my skills and take my skills to Miami Beach? Do like LeBron did and just take the option. It's always about growing yourself. It used to be frowned upon, 5, 6, 7 years ago even. They look at your resume and be like, God, dude, you work, where haven't you worked? But now, especially for millennials like yourself, it's the norm. Most young people are probably not going to stay in a job more than 2 to 3 years. And when people do the hiring, they kind of understand that now. It was difficult, still difficult, because you're trying to build something that's going to, last. You wanted to last 7, 8, 9, 10 years. But most people are looking at, okay, have I outlived my, is this job still fulfilling those things that I wanted? And if not, I want to look at the next option, and if it doesn't have promotion potential or growth potential, a lot of those other things, people want to look at the stepping stone and go to the next job.
Exactly.
But, hey, I'm getting older and I'll still leave. I have no problem with that, but I get out in a minute. And I tell my boss that all the time. Say, hey, I'm looking for the next opportunity. So, if I can go overseas, go to Europe, go back to DC, and the opportunity presents itself, I'm probably gone. And they know that. So I think that's kind of cool.
But I think what I always feel like too is like some places, or just what I've been thinking is that they make it seem like it's easy to replace someone. There's some jobs that make it like, you're just a number. We can replace you with somebody else. But I also believe that you as a person, that, this job isn't going to define who I am for forever. So if there's another opportunity that I want, then I could just go out and go get it versus just staying around because I'm afraid to move and go somewhere else because I'm already here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, fear is a big thing.
Yeah.
For most people, change brings fear. You know what I mean? Because a lot of folks are afraid of anything that's outside of their comfort zone. So that's what change is. You got to hop out. You don't know what that job is going to be. It sounds good on paper, sounded good in the interview, and the first day you walk through the door, I remember when I first took a job when I left North Carolina, went to Jersey.
Yeah.
Got into that job, first got into the government. I got there, I was really excited about the job. It sounded good on paper. The interview sounded great. I didn't do an interview, but it sounded good on paper when they sent it to me and said, yeah, you're going to be doing this, this, and this. I get there. I sat at a desk for like 2 weeks, and I don't think anybody in the building freaking spoke to me the whole time I was there. I was just going to work every morning. Nobody even knew who I was, right? So I showed up every morning. I got there at like 7. I'm sitting there. I go down and talk to the guy. He's like, yeah, we don't really have a whole lot for you to do today, whatever. And it took probably like a month before I actually got into the job. So, it's weird. It's weird how that stuff kind of plays out. But there was something you said a minute ago that kind of stuck in my head, right? So everybody's expendable in a job. Some people, you don't care if they leave, right? But like I've always told you, if you do your job and you do it well and you do it to the highest of your ability and you go above and beyond just, the blueprint of this is what my job is, this is all that's required, and that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to do the bare minimum. Well, yeah, I'm going to let you go. I don't have an issue. Yeah. You're the first one on the chopping block. But if you got a high performer, if you have a high performer, more often than not, if that person leaves, I used to always tell you this, when you leave, you should leave a hole. It should be hard for them to fill that spot when you leave. right?
Yeah.
And then that makes it, you got leverage. That's why, you know, people want to give you more money. They want to give you more responsibility. They want to give you opportunities to grow because they know, I want to keep this guy. I don't want him, you know, if you're a knucklehead, I'm letting you go. I'm not going to offer you any opportunities to grow because you probably don't want them anyway.
Yeah.
Because you don't take initiative as it is. So a lot of people that are in the workforce are easily replaced because they're either working a job they don't like, so they don't do anything, or they're underperformers anyway and they don't do anything.
Yeah. Or
they just don't freaking care. Period. I'm getting a paycheck. Yeah, I'm good with that. And that's all that they do. They don't look at the body of work as developing their ability and providing opportunity for them to grow and potentially reach goals. Because most folks don't have goals. I just need a job. I just want to be able to take care of my responsibilities. I just want to make it from check to check, and that's it. And that's a horrible freaking existence. You know?
It's not fun. That's the clearance store, by the way, for Nike. Even though I know you don't like Nike stuff,
I'm not a Nike guy,
but
man.
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen
Adidas.
They actually, matter of fact, it's probably closed now. But if next time we come out here, they have the Adidas employee store out in Oregon. And all I gotta do is just call the city up and be like, "Yo, can I get some employee store passes?" And they'll give you employee store passes. For the store. That's what I heard. I haven't tried it because every time I've been wanting to go, it's like on a Saturday.
And
that place is closed. But
you hear a lot of things.
Yeah, but I mean, it makes sense though, because I mean, their competitors, Nike, the Nike employee stores out there, and that takes pulling a few strings and knowing some people in order to get to that store. So it's like, yeah, we could just give us a call. I don't know. Anyways,
well, Adidas got issues right now anyway.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
With this whole thing going on with Louisville, you heard about that, right?
No. I haven't. What's going on?
You kidding me?
Huh.
So Rick Pitino, head coach. Well, you didn't hear that name. Head coach. Okay. Well, it's all over the news anyway. Yeah. The head coach for U of L's basketball team and Adidas had this like $160 million deal going that they were funneling players from the AAU circuit, because most of the big time AAU tournaments are, you know, 3 stripes.
Yeah.
You know, they're all 3 stripes tournaments, and they're right in there. But anyway, it was this whole big brouhaha because this dude was getting like, he had like a bunch of top picks coming in the next couple of recruiting classes that were tied to the Adidas line because they play on Adidas teams, on AAU teams, and then they funneled them to these coaches, and he was like, I mean, he getting paid. So he just got, you know, they put him on administrative leave, right?
Yeah.
He don't really care because, I mean, he just still got the money, so it don't really make a difference. Him and the AD got relieved. So Adidas' stock took a hit a few days ago because of, like last week, because of that, because, you know, just recently they were number 2 ahead of Jordans.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think they're gonna take somewhat of a hit. It's not gonna really change a whole lot, man. I mean, this is not. I don't think that this is something that's like one of those things that, oh my God, you know.
Wait, so what was actually happening? So what was happening was that they had the AAU tournament that's sponsored by Adidas, and then so they take that information, they kind of funnel it to specific coaches at different colleges to kind of give them a boost.
They get an inside track to the heavy recruits. Okay. Because you got the top recruits that are playing in these big time tournaments, right? Yeah. And so when they play in these big time tournaments, there were some agents that were tied to all this stuff as well. Yeah. And they were telling, and also it was crazy. They got agents that was tied to it. They had a guy that was like a financial planner who was grabbing these kids when they were becoming seniors and getting ready to sign for their college contracts. Yeah. So, you know, not sign their college contracts, sign their letter of intent, and then if they had NBA potential, then I already have an inside track to you because I got you to the school you want to go to. So now when you're going to get drafted, guess what? Yeah. I want to manage your money. Oh, you know, man. So come hook up with me. I got you. I'm gonna get you this heavy duty Adidas contract because I already got the inside track for you. Right? You can get your own shoe. I can get you to the team. We're gonna get you paid, and then you pay me. So it was like this. I mean, this crazy multi-million-dollar thing going on between with Adidas and some of these other, you know, these financial planners and agents and all that stuff. And Louisville just kind of got caught up in the mix. So they say it's like
they weren't the only ones involved.
No, they say it's like 7 schools. It's like 7 or 8 schools that's tied up in it. But they were the most prominent. And you know, of course, the head coach at U of L already was in some drama a couple of years ago and a few years before that. Yeah. So yeah, they're gonna probably wash their hands with that dude. But it's crazy, man. my daughters play AAU ball, 3 stripes, man, that's huge. It's everywhere. And most of these teams that play are Adidas sponsored teams. Like my daughter's team this year was Adidas sponsored. You don't really see it with girls so much because, I mean, unfortunately, for the girls game, you don't really see a whole lot of WNBA players with freaking shoes contracts.
Yeah,
you know, that was one of the complaints that the young lady that played at UConn, you know, big time player. When she was at UConn, she had all the contracts and everything, all kinds of endorsements. She goes to WNBA, not a sniff, nothing.
It's crazy. Yeah, I feel like women's college basketball probably gets more love than WNBA does.
Yeah, it does. It does. Honestly, it does. I like them both. I think I like them better than I do the men's game, you know, in a lot of instances because it's just more fundamental. The girls, I mean, they work on the things that make the game great.
Well, that's the thing too. That's another, like, so I've been doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right, for the last 2 months. I love rolling. I don't love it because they be exposing me sometimes. But I like rolling with females because you can't use your strength at all, and you have to be way more technical.
Yeah.
You have to be a technician when you roll with them because obviously you can't use your strength. Use your strength, you're basically cheating.
Yeah.
And I lift weights, so I'm going against these smaller chicks, and I get murked by them most of the time.
But not only that, but they also realize I have to be technically sound.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be going up against people that are probably going to weigh more than me. So I got to understand leverage. I got to understand, you know, the counters to every move that comes. They're going to put more work in because in order for them to be successful, they got to be on top of their game when they're going against somebody that's bigger.
Yep.
So that's what I mean by being fundamental. They're going to be fundamentally sound. I mean, it's not necessarily that they're going to be the most athletic or the best athlete because you're going to be, men are just going to be naturally bigger and stronger. So for a woman to compete, when they're fundamentally sound, I've seen girls work dudes on the court.
Yeah.
Because they understand how to position their body, footwork, get their shot off. I mean, just working dudes. And, you know, it's amazing to me. So I love watching women's basketball. And, you know, I'm a little bit biased. You know, you got 3 sisters.
Yeah. They
all play ball. So I watch them play, and I enjoy watching them play. And I really kind of fall in love with the game because it's a physical game, but it's a lot more technically sound. You know, you don't have all this, you know, like you look at the NBA, man, dudes just taking 5 steps going to the rim. You know, LeBron catch the ball out of bounds, take 7 steps. They don't even call it travel. You know, it's just the okayest part of the game. My man, OKC, of course, he had to get called because he walked to half court.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, but you see that. And if you watch a lot of that, you see a lot of that stuff showing up in the boys' game because they're doing stuff that is illegal. You know, carrying the ball, cupping the ball, you know, taking extra steps. You know, just a lot of things that just aren't fundamentally sound. It's killing the game.
Yeah.
That's why Europeans come over here and kill us.
You know what else? What else I think is killing the game, and me and a couple of my buddies actually talked about it, is how they're forcing you to go to college at least 1 year before you enter the league.
It's all about the money, baby.
Yeah. And it's like I always felt like. Back when LeBron first came in the league, when Iverson was still balling, all those guys, it's because it's just like no holds barred. If you got talent, you got talent. You have to prove yourself no matter what. Where I feel like that hiccup where they force you to go to college for a year kind of takes away from a lot of the talent. Because it's kind of like a pit stop that you have to do. Well, that's really not even necessary for some of them.
For some, but that number of folks that applies to is so small.
It's true.
And the reason why I say that is because you look at the Kobe Bryants, you look at LeBron James, you look at these guys, and you notice right away they were way ahead of the players that they were playing with in high school.
Yeah.
But you look at the rest of them kids, there was a lot of them that were talented. They probably could have, you know, wanted to make the jump straight to the pros. They wouldn't have made it. You had a lot of kids that did. You had a lot of them that tried to make that leap from high school to the pros. I mean, Dwight Howard was another one.
Dwight Howard's garbage.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
But yeah,
when he came. When you freaking 7 foot, all you can do is, you know, you throw me a hoop, I can dunk it. I mean, you gonna do that.
Yeah.
And, you know, but the day and age of a big man simply playing with his back to the rim, that's gone. So that's a whole nother ball. That's a whole nother conversation. But guys jumping from high school to the pros is very, very difficult, and that's rarefied air. We talk about the elite players that can do that. Most cannot. And I think it's good. You know, it is money driven. You know, if you take all the elite players out of high school and you throw them first, right out of high school, right into the pros. What you're basically getting ready to do is really mess up the pro game. And the reason why is because you got kids that one are fundamentally not sound, still need some work developing and maturing and getting stronger.
Yeah.
And they're still kids. You're talking about 18-year-olds. You got to have the body for it, the strength for it, the mentality to make that leap from high school to college and be successful. You know, the Mamba, that was all he did. I mean, he played in Europe. You got to remember what, you know, some of these guys like LeBron and all those guys that did make the leap, man, they were being exposed to top-tier talent all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a whole lot different than being, okay, a 5-star athlete at a high school out in freaking Pennsylvania somewhere, and most of the kids you're playing are like 1-star athletes, 1- or 2-star athletes. You're supposed to dominate. If you don't dominate, something's wrong. So I think it's good for both. It's money-driven, though, but I think it's good for college to let them get in and get seasoned a little bit, against some good competition. And, you know, Andrew Wiggins is a good example of that. I think it did him good to play those. I think he played 1 or 2 years at Kansas before he moved. He could have gone out of high school, but I think it did him good because now he's a much more well-rounded player. He's much better. And physically, he grew into his body. So, you know, it helped a lot.
Yeah, and it's true. How do you feel about it's a good question. I always wanted to ask you just now, since we're on the subject of basketball. How do you feel about the balls? Lonzo Ball, LeVar Ball, all those guys, that whole family.
So I have mixed opinions. One, I'm gonna put this out front. I am not a LeVar Ball fan. I know he probably don't care what I think because he don't care what nobody thinks. I'm not a fan of the approach. I am a fan of what he's trying to do. So what the dude has done is freaking phenomenal. All right, and a lot of people don't understand what he just did. What he basically just did was took the power from the NCAAs over his son's eligibility and allowed his son to make some money before he went to college. And he did that in a very legal, even though they may figure out a way to make it illegal, but he did it in a very legal way right now because all these kids go to college, right? And I'm adamant about this, and I feel very strongly about it as an athlete and as, you know, watching the college game. I love the college game, football, basketball, baseball, track and field. Love college sports. A lot of these athletes go to college, their likenesses, their names make a lot of money. It's a $1 billion industry, college sports. $1 billion industry. These college athletes don't make a dime. Now, granted, they get a great education. Nothing wrong with that. And it's free. Nothing wrong with that. That's a drop in the bucket for what these big time organizations are getting paid for selling, you know, a number 7 jersey or whatever that player's name is on that team every year for 4 years. And that guy he don't get nothing but a $130,000 degree, right? So he gets a $150,000 degree. You throw in room and board. So let's just say, you know, $200,000. They have made off of that kid for the last 4 years, especially if he's a stellar athlete, and they're winning. They done made probably $1 billion and a half, a few $100 million off of all those players. So yeah, that ain't necessarily, to me, it's just not fair. So what LeVar Ball did was he said, okay, before they even, you know, we're gonna start this thing before they even get there, and I'm gonna do it in a way where it's not him, because he's taking ownership of it. I mean, it's his money, but he's doing it through the Triple B brand. Yeah. You know, and I ain't mad about that, because the shoe industry is making billions of dollars off these kids, man, coming out. And if they don't have somebody that can negotiate a contract for them, they're getting pennies to the dollar. And these organizations are getting 97%. You're getting 3 cents on every shoe you sell. I mean, that's crazy. Yep. I'm the dude doing the work, you know, but that's how it works. So, yeah, he's beating them at their own game, and a lot of folks don't like that. I mean, the dude is loud and obnoxious, but it is what it is. I ain't mad at him about that. I think he could probably do it in a different way, and people would probably accept it. But, I mean, like he said, he don't care. Hey, I'm trying to get my family paid. That's basically what he was saying. I don't care what they think. So I think we kind of got saturated. I mean, he got 3 really, really good players that's coming out of there, out of that family line there. I really think that the middle son is probably going to be much more of a beast than the rest of them.
You think so?
I think so.
I read an article. He said he's probably not even going to go pro.
He might not even go pro. But I think he's going to be physically, because physically he has the body to play.
Yeah.
If you look at him, I mean, he physically has the body to be very physical, very aggressive. Lonzo
and LaMelo. I don't know the middle name.
Well, Lonzo, I forgot the middle kid's name, but Lonzo is the one that's there now. LaMelo is the one that's still in high school.
Yeah.
And well, they both, the two middle ones are still in high school. But Lonzo is, I think he's going to be a good player. I don't know if he's going to be great. He has a potential because the guy has a great vision. I give him that. He sees the floor well. He's a master at the assist. He's long. He's probably going to need to be a little bit more aggressive offensively, getting to the rim, because that's going to open up everything else.
Yeah.
That jump shot is going to be interesting to watch because it's very unconventional how he shoots it. And I think just by association that his dad has created this whole aura around him that he's supposed to be better than everybody else that's coming in, that's in the league right now, because LeVar is very combative. He does that to continue to keep, the name alive.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these guys, when the season gets started, preseason really don't count. When the season gets started, I think you're gonna see a lot of cats running at him. I mean, you're gonna see a lot of dudes running right at him and trying to shut him down, kind of like reminiscent of what Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen did to Tony Kukoc in the Olympics back when the Dream Team played against Croatia's team, and they were talking about Tony Kukoc was supposed to be the next coming of Jordan, and Jordan shut that dude. I mean, ripped that dude's drawers off over and over and over again, just to let him know you don't even come close to me. And I mean, they shut him down. Him and Pippen both went at him one-on-one, and they were just killing him. I mean, they beat him down. So I think a lot of cats are gonna come at Lonzo, and it ain't his fault. His daddy kind of put him out there, and he's gonna take a beating the first couple of years. But I think it'd probably be better for him, because now you can either take an L and grow from it, because success don't come without losses, or you can just take an L and lay down and just keep getting run over and just find your way out of the league.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's him. I think he's gonna take those L's. He's gonna learn from it. He's gonna come back and be better, bigger, stronger. And I think he'll be able to, make the adjustment. But I think this first season, man, Joker's gonna be running at him. Now LaMelo, probably out of the two, because I've seen some of his stuff. Offensively, this dude is like ridiculous.
LaMelo?
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw some of his highlights, but I mean, at the same time, some people are going to focus on his bad games. And I think that's what the majority of what I've seen. But I've seen his good stuff. What I'm talking
about is just range wise. I mean, this kid is in high school, like what, a sophomore or something like that, like a freshman, sophomore in high school. I'm just talking like just range. Just his shot looks better than Lonzo's by far. This dude can walk across half court, man, 2 steps in, take it, and shoot a 3, walk away, knowing it's going. So I'm not saying that he's not talented. He's very talented. The part of his game I don't like, he don't play no defense. I watched a complete game that they had on video, man, and this dude literally stayed at the half court line. I mean, never even went back to guard anybody, just waiting on the ball, snowboarding. He had like 70-something points. Because how you gonna guard him if you never come back and play defense? There's no transition there.
Yeah.
So he's got to be a complete player. And of course, that'll come, but you got to be a complete player, a team player. And right now, it's just this, me thing, and that a lot of college coaches are going to choke the life out of that. If he goes to UCLA, of course, they're going to let that go, because they know, LeVar going to be sitting in the stands going nuts like always. But in the pros, he don't have that kind of control.
No.
I mean, he's not going to be able to go in and tell people, I want my son. I don't care what you want. And that's going to be interesting to watch this year. I mean, I'm waiting to see Lonzo step out of LeVar's shadow. That's what I'm waiting to see, and see what is that gonna bring. Not that it's gonna bring contention between the two, but who is he really? Because you haven't really found out. All you've heard of, because LeVar has really sheltered all 3 of them. They don't have regular lives, man. These dudes have basketball lives. They don't do what normal kids do. They don't go to normal functions. Basketball is their ball is life, for real, and that's how they exist. So, now that I'm out from under Dad's shadow and I can make some of my own decisions, I'm the one making this money. This is my contract. It's gonna be interesting to watch and see how what becomes of it. I hope he does well.
Yeah. Like, where would you come at it? Because I've seen you I've been there. I've seen you in the stands, and it gets kind of intense. So I'm just kind of like, I wonder if he was in those shoes or in that similar situation when you got all this spotlight on your kids for basketball. What would you do in that situation? Or like, if you even agree with where dude was coming from in regards to that?
I mean, I'm kind of split. You know, he's a little bit different. Granted, I'm intense, no doubt. Don't nobody cheer my kids on more than I cheer my kids on. That's in anything. I was at your freaking football game, but you're living behind, couldn't even hardly play. I kind of felt for you because I know you really wanted to play. I really wanted you to play, and you know, but I cheer him on. I want him to do well, but I'm not that dude. I'm not by any stretch. I wouldn't do what he's doing. You know, trying to put my kids. I have more of a reserved approach when it comes to putting my kids out front as being this great player. Now, my girls can play, and I tell them all the time, you know, don't be afraid to be great. But I don't have to go tell anybody anything. I just let them play.
Yeah.
And everybody in Kentucky that have seen either of them play, but now Lana have seen her play, they know she can play. So I don't think you have to do that. If your kid's good, your kid's good. You ain't got to tell the world that they're good. Their game will tell everybody they're good. And I think there's a certain degree of good. You know, I think I prefer having a kid that's an all-around player than a kid who can only play on one side of the ball. Yeah. That's just me. I think you got to be complete. You can't be, you know, there's a lot of great offensive players in the league. Dirk Nowitzki is one, right? Great scorer, but he's not known for defense. And the team that he's on is not known for defense. And they won one championship by outscoring everybody. They ain't been back since. You know, so I mean I think the difference between me and him is, I can be intense now. I've gotten tossed out of a couple of games, you know, because of intensity, but it wasn't because I'm out there, you know, tooting my kids' horns. It was just because I felt like, you know, a couple of calls were just ridiculous or something like that, or I just didn't like the ref.
And for the record, for people listening, my dad came out for my football game. I didn't suck, all right? The boy I sprained my ankle.
Yeah.
And I was over here trying to play.
Yeah.
But that's when I blew that thing out again. I got weak little baby ankles thanks to your genetics.
Hey, I didn't have any ankle problems. Well, I had knee problems. I didn't have any ankle problems, bro.
I don't know what it is.
I played high school ball 4 years, played a little bit for the Army when I was out here in Fort Lewis. I never had ankle problems. I played with the best of them.
That's on my mom's side then. But no, I just know that, it's weird too, because you don't realize there's some things that you just can't do over time. And I remember when I started doing yoga, and like, you know how people sit on their knees and their feet are flat, basically? I couldn't do that for a long time. It makes my ankles hurt.
Yeah.
It was because, you know, certain things you just never did or whatever. So I don't know. And plus spraining them and stuff a bunch of times probably had a lot of not too much stretching going on. So I didn't have any kind of flexibility in there.
That was the key.
Yeah. So what made you come up here, man? It's still weird to me because I'm grown now. I'm 27. I hang out. I live. And then you just like, hey, I'm gonna come up visit my son. I'm just like, I don't know what you want to do, Dad. I'm just all right. Let's just hang out. I don't know.
You know, it's funny because you make that sound as if like because you're grown, you stop being my kid.
Yeah.
Right. So the thing and the cool thing I like about our family, man, is that we're tight.
Yeah.
We all get along. We talk constantly. We're always in contact. It's a blended family, but we don't miss a beat. It's not like, you know, you're an outsider in the family. The girls are as much a part of your life as they are mine. I just wanted to come out. You know, I tell you all the time, I'm really proud of the young man you're becoming. The things happen in life, and you can either pick yourself up, keep moving, or you can, you know, lay down there and wallow in self-pity and depression and all the other foolishness, or you can determine that, hey, I'm gonna do everything I can and try to do the best that I can. And I just want to come out and hang out, you know, because it's been a while since hadn't seen you since
like last
Christmas. Yeah. You weren't gonna make it this Christmas, and I wasn't paying like $1,800 for 4 tickets because the girls really wanted to come, but I was like, yeah, we're not doing that. So I figured I'd come out here. I had a few days. I'd come out and hang out. And, you know, I've always loved Washington State and thought I'd come out and get to see it, how much it's changed. It's changed Fort Lewis, Tacoma, and Seattle. That's like all these other little places in between. And man, everything is just growing so great. So it was, for me, it's been a great visit. I've enjoyed it. You know, I'm a simple dude. I don't need to do a whole lot.
Yeah, that's where I got it from. Because whenever I go places, even when I visit places now, I'm like, I don't want to do all that sightseeing stuff.
Yeah.
I want to see where the food's at.
Yep.
I just want to hang out.
See where the food's at. Get out into the community. You know, go see maybe, like, we went hiking. That was cool. I really enjoyed it. That's like the first time. Stationed here for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
When I was in the Army at Fort Lewis. Would see Mount Rainier off in the horizon freaking every morning. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, that's great. And people talking about, yeah, you know, you can go hike there. Yeah, I'm thinking hiking there. And then you get me out and say, hey man, you got some hiking shoes? Yeah, I go get a pair of hiking shoes. We go up there. And because I'm getting older, thinking more about being healthy, you know, trying to stay healthy and, you know, getting out into nature and doing different things like that. It was just cool, just getting up there first.
You was like you was hype. I never seen you that hype about nature ever. Like
that was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm serious. You know, people probably, people hearing this podcast like, what's amazing about that? It's freaking amazing to put it in the framework of, you know, looking at a mountain, you know, as huge and majestic and pristine as it is, just looking at it and thinking about, you know, how all this stuff came to be, you know, and you look at the sun and the sky and everything is perfect. You know, you get up there, the air is clean, you ain't choking from freaking smog and all this other stuff, and you start to think about, you know, here I am, this individual, I get the privilege of being able to walk up here, you know, and see all this with my own eyes. So the sun breaking over the ridge line and look like it set the clouds on fire. I mean, that's, you take a lot of this stuff for granted. You don't really think about it. You know what I mean? You go through existing in life and you take for granted the things that we see off in the distance. And every now and then, you know, you just got to kind of take a minute and get up close to the stuff you see off in the distance. And it really, you know, puts you in awe of everything around you. And so that was it for me. And of course, you know, me, I was, my first thing is I'm like, man, we're like a step down below heaven, man. This is all right. God's up there somewhere. Yeah. So that was my thing. So.
Next time we come out, though, we gotta try and go further. We just can't go. We'll go, if you ever came down in the summertime, I think that'd probably be the best time, because there ain't too much wind and weather's not that bad.
As long as I don't get blown back 3-4 steps like we did yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was too windy, bro.
I sketchy.
Thought about it. I stepped out on that ledge and the wind was whipping. I was like, yeah, we going back.
So, yeah. It was cold too.
Yeah.
It was like 36 degrees.
I'll bring gloves next time.
I thought you bought a pair.
No.
Yeah.
What was I gonna buy, man?
We were at the stores. Like, and REI was around the way too. We could have stopped there.
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah. I had my gloves, but I didn't really use them. Just kept my hands in my pockets.
Yeah.
So, and then, because I was at work, and I was like, man, my dad's about to come up here. I don't know what the heck we're gonna do. And I was like, well, I know he probably ain't never been to Mount Rainier before. And like I saw like on your little stories and videos that you always put in the group chats of like you like walking or running 5 miles in the middle of the woods. So I'm just like, hey, we probably do right now. Probably like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, I've been getting out. We live like literally across the street from a lake that has a trail, and I've been out there 7 years. I think I just ran the trail for the first time this year.
You guys been in Kentucky for 7 years?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we got there in 2010. Remember? Well, I got there first.
Time flies. Time flies.
Remember Lily's? We bought the house when Lily was born.
Yeah, that's true.
She's 6. So.
Yeah. They weren't lying. Once you turn 21, time just keeps going by faster and faster.
Screaming, bro. Who you telling?
Yeah.
Like I said, man, I was 17 yesterday.
Yep.
I'll be 51 next year, next month.
It's crazy.
Next month. You know, so it's time does not stand still for any of us.
You can't even have it back. There's no receipt.
Yeah, man.
There's no receipt for time.
There ain't no returns, bro. There's no returns.
What can you take from life, from what you've in your 50-something years, from when you turn that page, left home, that start? Because I think that's when you really start living. It's once you leave home, or once you turn 18, and you actually, you know, you got that mindset like, yeah, I can go out and figure something out now. And like, so what'd you take from that up until where you are now? Like, what is some stuff? What have you realized? What have you learned? Where is your wisdom at in regards to just living.
Well, that's deep.
Hey, I'm a deep guy.
It's deep. So, man, there's a lot of stuff in there. So I'm gonna try to drop a little bit of it in there. Try to put a little knowledge on it. So first, you kind of start left winging. You just start trying crap. You have no idea. So I had the disadvantage of not really having. My mom tried to teach me the best that she could of how to be an adult. So I always laugh about, it's the simple things that you don't get taught that really create the most freaking chaos and confusion in your life. Stuff like, writing checks, balancing a checkbook, managing your money, simple stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or understanding that every decision that you make creates consequences that you have to live with for the rest of your life, like good, bad, and indifferent. You have to learn and understand that. And a lot of those things, she did what she could to try to teach me that. But a lot of things like trying to become a man and those kind of things, of course, she couldn't teach me that. So you're out there fishing on your own, trying to figure it out. For a long time, I spent a lot of time, trying to. This is the one thing that one most important thing that I took away out of 50-something years, 51, going on 51 years of living. The most important thing that I've taken away is identity, knowing who you are, and understanding that you have a purpose in life. That you're not just existing. People think that, I'm just here. But I believe, and I'm gonna throw this out there. I know he don't want to go there, but I'm gonna go there. I'm a person of faith, and I believe that that God created us with a purpose. One of the things that I take great joy in, and Joe can attest to this, is I have the great opportunity of like being a dad for a lot of kids that may not have a dad in their lives, or may have a dad in their lives that they really don't feel comfortable with sharing close things with, or that I'm like a surrogate dad with them, and just somebody they can bounce stuff off and get advice from, and I've been able to be a blessing in other folks' lives that way. That's one thing I've taken away, is that I think that was my purpose, and I really I found great joy in doing that, and just trying to encourage young folks to find their way, figure out, who you are. What is it that you, if you could do it all day long, every day, and not get paid a dime to do it, find out what that is, and then pursue it with everything you got, and just embrace and love life, and figure out, what your purpose is. Why am I here? Why did God put me here? What can I do to make the world better? That's the one thing that I was able to, that I think I took away from it, is that I found what I feel was my purpose. It's not my job. I got a great job. I love my job. I love what I do. I love my wife and my kids, and I love being a dad to my children. But I've been really, blessed in a lot of ways by having an opportunity to actually touch other kids' lives and other people's lives, just by just being there, listening and hearing, and trying to offer solid advice.
Yeah,
that's been my takeaway. The one thing is, like I said, figure out what it is that why you're here, man. Figure out why you're here and pursue it. Whatever that dream is, whatever that purpose is. Hey, put feet to it. Start making it happen. Start trying to put yourself in a position to pursue it with everything you got, and you'll find that as you pursue it, it opens up all kinds of other stuff. Opens up all kinds of other stuff. I had great opportunities just because I got out and just started doing what I felt like God put me here to do, and other things just started happening. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you the opportunities I've had as a result of just reaching out and touching the lives of some young people, young adults, and kids through my kids' lives, that I just get to watch and see these young men, young women grow up, and I had a little bit of something to do with that. That's nothing. That's the thing I've taken away out of 51 years, is that we can have an impact. There's a saying that I put at the end of most of my emails, and it says, every day I get up, every day I go to work, every opportunity that I have, I want to make an impact on someone's life. And when I walk, if it so happens that we don't cross paths again, that I've made such an impact on their lives that it leaves an imprint on them that they can now go out and replicate.
Yeah.
And so, that's the takeaway. That's been the one takeaway that I've had.
Yeah, so it's funny because I like to explain our relationship to like my friends, because like some people will be asking like, oh, like where's your dad, blah blah blah, like do you guys, like obviously he lives somewhere else, like do you guys, how's your relationship or whatever, blah blah blah. But have you ever, like, if you've seen The Matrix, I always tell people it feels like I'm Neo and like you're Morpheus and you're just like talking to me on a mic, like whatever, like microphones in my ear, just because that's almost how it was just growing up, because you called like all the time just to see what I was doing. And then especially when the whole jail thing went down, I think I called you more often than ever before, because I was just kind of like, I was in a weird place at that time, trying to figure it all out.
Yeah, well, I mean, so like I said, man, earlier, so that's the thing that's really that I really, from a dad perspective, right?
Yeah.
That has been like the most powerful kind of thing for me, is kind of being all the way out in wherever we were at the time, North Carolina or Kentucky or whatever, when all this stuff was going on, and watching you mature and grow up. So it's funny because, I could have taken a whole lot of different tacks on that. I could have went a whole lot of different ways on that. But the thing that I realized, that I didn't have somebody there to tell me, you know what I mean, when I was coming up. Trust me, you wasn't the first one of us to go and find yourself in that kind of situation. So I understood what was going on and what the thoughts were in your head. So from my perspective was, okay, I'm not going to babysit you. I'm not going to make it easy. I'm going to let you get a little taste of what it feels like to be down for one night. We're going to see what happens. See if maybe, you get a dude looking at you sideways on the other side of the cell, and you got to sit there. Now you may have to fend for yourself one night. We'll find out how you feel about that. Is that a lifestyle you want to live, or do you want to make a change? But the reality of somebody slamming the door behind you, and you might be in there for a minute, that kind of puts things in perspective, and you could have went a lot of different ways on that. But the thing that was, like I said, most impressive for me was you reached out and you asked, hey Dad, so what am I going to do? But the one thing I kept trying to prepare you for was, you have made a choice, like I said earlier, that's going to create consequences that aren't going to go away overnight.
Yeah.
So you got to be prepared mentally now to deal with those consequences. Doesn't mean you won't have success. Doesn't mean you won't be able to do great things. It simply means now you got another hurdle you got to get over.
Yep.
And the thing that was, that I tell people, and you be surprised, I tell people all the time, you're like the blueprint that I use for a lot of kids that I deal with. I say, hey, look, man, my kid was down. My kid got caught up. Could have took it was like a misdemeanor, class C.
No, they almost classified them as felonies.
Yeah, almost classified as felonies and all this other kind of stuff, right? And so I was telling myself, so you talking about a kid, I know how the system works. Once they put you in the system, man, you're basically in the system. If you don't understand that you can beat the system by, one, understanding how all this stuff works, and having somebody to kind of walk with you to help you make better decisions. So my whole thing was, I could get mad and yell and scream and go ham like I usually would, or I can coach you and help you understand that this ain't the end of the world, but rather it's just a roadblock that if you do the right things and make good choices, you can overcome it. It makes you stronger. It makes you understand that there's nothing that can keep you from your purpose that I spoke to a minute ago. You have a reason to be here. God put you here for that reason. There's nothing that can stop you from getting there, as long as you understand that I got to make better decisions. I got to make the right choices. You started doing that. We talked. Frustration set in. Remember, we had a couple conversations. You were a little pissed off. Man, I'm trying to get a job. These people keep hitting me with this crap. That's not who I am. I understand that. And the thing that, you have to remember, when you make bad choices, man, people that don't know you, all they know is your bad choice. Yeah. And that's all they know. They don't care anything about how great a person you are, or the great things you've done, the good kid that you are, because they're not looking at that. That's the thing I think most of us don't get, is that when you make poor choices and then you want to go out and have a life, well, what the people are going to see are the poor choices because they don't know you.
Yeah.
And so now you got to wrestle with, how do I get beyond that? I can't get mad with them. You can, but that ain't gonna make it better. You can get mad with them because why are they looking at that? Because that's all they got to look at. All they have is this. They got a resume, they got an application, and they got your background check. Think about that. That's all they had. They don't know you. They got you and 40 other people that don't have that, and now they got to make a decision. So even though you can be the best person, in the world now, and the best person for that job, they don't know that. And so what I try to do is try to keep you from getting, bogged down and overly frustrated, and understand that somebody somewhere is going to open a door for you. When they do, go in and be excellent. Don't care about all the other crap. Now we're going to start building your resume forward, because now when they call for the reference and they talk to that person, this dude working his butt off. You want to hire him, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so now here we are. What? How long ago was that?
It's like 5 years ago.
5 years ago, right? So now you fast forward, all that conversating and talking, and we probably talk 2-3 times a week, if not more, early on. And then as you start to gain traction, the conversations went down to like weekly, but we still would go back and see, man, where you at? How you doing? You okay? You good? You need anything? We've always had that relationship, and I think that's the key thing, the key word. We've always had that relationship where we talked about everything.
What was crazy though, what I didn't even brought this up, but what was crazy though is when I first got hemmed up in that situation, I was really thinking and then I sort of finished what I had to finish in regards to starting the classes and stuff like that, but I almost ran away basically. And when I applied to Western Kentucky and all that stuff and got accepted, and I was just about to just leave and just not come back. And you guys are kind of down for that, which I really thought was awesome, even though it was really sketchy. It wasn't a great idea that I had, but you kind of supported it.
Well,
it was cool.
Yeah. So I was in a position of, dude, whatever you think you need to do, if I need to support you, I'm going to support you. I said, now we had the conversation, and I told her, I said, well, that ain't going to change. Yeah. I mean, the issue's going to still be there. Remember I told you that. I said, you come out here, but you still going to have that same battle. It ain't going nowhere. I said, now, but if you think that's the best thing for you to do, then come on out here. We'll support you. We'll help you out, whatever you need to do. Because I wanted you to finish your education, give you that leverage to get you in the door in some other places. But hey, I know for a fact, man, you can run. You can't outrun that freaking record. That's coming. Yeah. It may not be there when you first get there, but it's going to pop up. And when it does, you still got those consequences. They don't go nowhere. And so, it wasn't the thing that I always wanted to try to do and I do this even now. I'm getting better. I'm not perfect by any stretch of imagination, but I'm getting better. Is I didn't want to be my mom's. I love her. God rest her soul. She did the best she could raising 2 boys in the 70s. Dirt poor, didn't have anything. But dude, that was a hard lady. And she didn't care nothing about anything you would try. It was either the way she wanted it done, or hey, you can get your stuff and get up out of here. I ain't trying to help you. You on your own. And that was pretty much how I came up. Which is why I was in the rut. I just left. I just wanted to leave. I didn't ever want you guys to feel like you were on your own as you were trying to figure it out. And you still aren't on your own as you're trying. We talk now. You bounce stuff off me. I'm like, you can do that. But there's probably another way you might want to look. Have you thought about this? So I throw stuff back to you. I don't make your decisions. I'm not going to. Never have. Even with all that stuff. I was telling you, hey, here are some things you might want to think about. It's your life, bro. Make your decision. You gonna live with it, not me. You're not gonna ever be able to tell me, well, Dad, you said, no, bro. I ain't tell you to do none of that. That was all you. I gave you some stuff you can look at and decide what you want to do, but the decision is yours. And that's what I've always tried to do, and that's what I try to do even now with the girls. As they get older, I start relinquishing control and let you make your own decision, because it's your life, it ain't mine. I'm not going to live it. I'm 51 years old. God bless me to see another 25, 30 years. Hey, all this stuff y'all done did, that's on you. I don't want to be tied to any of it, So that was the thing. And like I said before, I was really impressed with, one, you grew up in a lot of that. You grew up a lot as a result of a lot of that. And you matured a lot. And I have great confidence. That's why I don't trip about, we have conversations now what's going to work for you, what's going to be best for you. And I'm going to support you because I love you, first off. And, you know, it's about you coming into your own, not me making you a carbon copy of me. You know, so I just want you to do well, and I want you to have the best of everything, man. So,
yeah.
You know, that's it.
I feel it. Where we at right now?
I don't know, bro.
56 minutes, and then we're about 36 minutes from Corey. I gotta call that fool probably pretty soon because he probably thinks we forgot about
Yeah,
him.
man.
But anyways,
Dessert.
so my thoughts are spirituality, man. Because you know where I'm at.
Yeah.
I know where you are. And I think what's always been very interesting is kind of like what brought you to where you were, and then like what brought me to where I am. It's like what I think back to is my grandma.
Yeah.
And so I think what occurred is, so for those of you who don't know, my father, aren't you still a minister?
Yeah.
Minister of the church, knows the Bible front to back.
Liar, pants off. Go ahead, man.
knows a lot though about religion and belief, and it also respects others in regards to what they may believe in and stuff like that, and was willing to have conversation. And so what always got me afraid as a kid growing up, we brought this up the other day, was that I always wanted to try and impress you and kind of keep you happy as my dad. And then after a while, I kind of came into my own strange thought process. But I also think it might have just come up because of from basically zero to when she passed away. It was being with my grandma and having that but having that kind of Buddhist influence.
Yeah.
Because I used to go with her like every weekend, every weeknight during the week to her little meetings that she'd have and those prayers. And it's kind of like, I don't know. But overall, anyways, how do you deal with all the craziness that's going on in the world? How do you deal with the stressors? What keeps you positive and motivated in life? I don't even know how I even transitioned into that. But I think it's just because we all have our own tools. Like you can either pray on it, or you kind of just have that thought in your mind, like, man, I've seen it be worse in other places, and just kind of just be conscientious about what's going on.
Yeah. So,
you know,
we had this. Yeah, it was kind of good. Like I said, the whole trip has been great. The walk up to Mount Rainier.
Mount
Everest, right? Mount Rainier. The walk up to Mount Rainier was really cool because we got to talk about a lot of stuff like what we're talking about now. But in the thing, the one thing that I adamantly believe, okay, is, and I am a devout Christian. I've been preaching the gospel of Christ since I think like 2001. But like I tell my son and tell anybody else, I'm not your conventional preacher. I've always been more of a street preacher. I've always been more of one of those people that really like to, I don't know, it's just been a weird thing ever since I got called into ministry. Joe can tell you, people would just walk up to me and start talking. Out of nowhere. I mean, we could be in a gas station out in BFE, and dude would just walk up and just start telling me the issues of their lives. So I don't know why. I mean, I just thought, like I said, it's another one of those things where God's purpose, and I would take a minute, listen, talk to them, and just share the gospel of Christ with them. And, I'm not trying to make anybody become Christian. That's not my job. My job is to share. I think that's one of the things, that's what keeps me grounded. There's a lot of craziness going on, man. I mean, I'm not going to, bash the church or any of that kind of stuff, or bash preachers or any of that kind of thing. But you got a lot of stuff out there that is just completely against what's in the Bible, and completely against what God's intent was. And I honestly believe that God's intent from the creation until now was never for us to be sitting around freaking arguing about, the minutia of faith. I think what he really was after was for us to share the compassion and the love of Christ, which when you love a person that don't care anything about you, that don't even know who you greater love than that. And so if God loved me enough to do that, I mean, I don't have any other choice but to have enough love in me to love folks who don't even like me, who don't even care anything about me. So I don't get, I am just in case you didn't know, I am a black man in these United States. And there's a lot of craziness going on, from racial tensions to religious, freedoms and all these other things, First Amendment rights. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. What keeps me grounded and what keeps me from really like losing my mind and stuff is that I understand that at the end of the day, God is still God. It don't change. That's really what keeps me. The second part of that keeps me is that He knows everything that's going on, and I trust in my faith in Him and understand fully that my role while I'm here is to continue, as long as I'm on this earth, continue to try to love folks and try to care for people and try to share the love of God that He has given me, the things He shared with me through His Word and by His Spirit to the folks around me. I do that all the time. I don't care what your background is. I don't care what your sexual orientation is. I don't care who you are, what your race is, what your ethnicity is. I don't care what your religion is. I was a borderline Nation of Islam follower for many, many years. I handed out the Quran at the prison that I worked at in North Carolina. And some of my folks that might hear this podcast will be like, what? But yeah, that was Assalamu alaikum. So did you have the bow tie? I didn't have a bow tie, but I didn't mean pies either. But at the same time, I was really, despondent and upset with where we were in America for black folks. And Nation of Islam gave me a sense of identity. But when I came to understand who Christ was, it kind of, some of those things, some of those tenets that are in there are similar. But there's one thing that I always wrestle with. What about, these bad, raw feelings? How do I deal with all this stuff that's in me? And the only place I found solace for that was at the cross, right? In the gospel of Christ. And that's what really keeps me. I'm not trying to make anybody follow me. I hope you do. I tell my son, blood of my blood, bone of my bone. At the end of the day, that's your choice, not mine. You know what I believe. You know what I've taught you. You know what we teach, and what we live. You've seen how I live. If that doesn't compel you to understand and see that, yeah, maybe Dad might be onto something. I can't change your heart. That's all. The only person who can change your heart is God. All my kids understand that, and I leave that final decision up to them. Do I, conversate with them about it all the time? Do I pray for their salvation all the time? But at the end of the day, that ain't my choice. That ain't my job to make anybody do anything. It's my job simply to present it and live it. And if I live and do my job right, the Bible tells us that one plants, one waters, God gets the increase. I ain't God, so I don't get that increase. That ain't my job. My job is simply to do work. And if more believers, if more Christians, if more supposed followers of Christ simply did the work, and stopped trying to be God and judge people and put people in hell or in heaven, we will begin to see God move like we really want to see God move. But we won't, simply because people are too busy with their own agendas. I don't have no agenda. Simple. I don't. My agenda is God's agenda. And whatever He want to do, I'm good with.
It's like, I don't know. It's like when people try and express, or I'm trying to word it right without sounding crazy, but it's like when you're trying to do good unto others and try and get people influenced in positivity and things like that, you got to take yourself out of it and how you feel about it. You have to kind of just think in their shoes and then kind of be universal with it. I don't know.
So
I don't know where I was even trying to go with that, but you kind of got the.
I get what you're saying. So let me clean it up a little bit.
Clean it up for you.
Let me clean it up.
There you go.
So if you listen to a lot of the rhetoric that's being talked about right now, the discussions, what you hear is not. You don't hear reason. You don't hear faith. What you hear is emotion.
Yeah. Exactly.
So what emotions do? Emotions create a false narrative. Emotions are how you feel about things. Truth has nothing to do with feeling. Facts have nothing to do with feelings. So when you remove the feelings and get down to the root of what's really going on and look at it from, I'm going to say this from my perspective, I look at it from a biblical perspective. What would God, we always used to talk about what would Jesus do? What would Jesus do? What would Jesus say? The very folk, a lot of times we don't even, get to that place because we get emotionally charged about stuff and our emotions overflow. And because we feel some kind of way about something, that's what we put out there, what we feel. Well, I feel like, I don't care about how you feel. And I tell Joe all the time, we ain't even gonna talk about our feelings. I'm gonna just tell you what I know is in the book, and I'm gonna leave that there, and I'm gonna let you wrestle with that in regards to where you are, and let God do whatever it is that God's gonna do with you in regard to that. It's not my job to tell you how I feel about it. I can convey to you what the Bible says about whatever it is that we're discussing. My thing about the Bible and so many Christians, so many people that say they love God, the Bible talks about love so much. And it says if you can't love the person that's in front of you, how can you possibly say you really love God? So my thing has always been, man, get your freaking emotions in check. Set your emotions to the side. When I first got saved, first came into the gospel, my emotions ruled me. I get upset with folks, man, get mad with people, stop being friends with folks because they felt some kind of way about certain things that I thought were biblically correct. But as I've grown and understand more that God is love, God is concerned about your soul, so much so about your well-being, so much so that He gave everything. So if He was willing to die for me, I can die for you for a minute. If I really care about you, I will. I will put me in your place, and I will feel what you feel, so that I can understand where it is that you are for a moment, and let God's compassion come in, and then let Him do the work. We don't do that. No, we really don't. And that's the real thing, man. Our emotions, people get so emotionally charged about stuff. It's like, I'm gonna go here for a minute. We ain't gonna stay here long, because I don't want to really get into this whole conversation about the flag, right? I'm a 10-year veteran. Okay, so I'm gonna put this out there. I'll say this predominantly, and this is gonna go a whole other direction. We're gonna cut it off right after that because it's gonna go racial. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give you a heads up. So if you canvass your friends, and I want you to do this just in a mental exercise this week. If you canvass your friends, white or black, you canvass your friends in general about where they are on the kneeling during the national anthem. I'm willing to venture and guess that the majority of the folks that are going to support it are going to be minorities. The majority of the folks that are going to be against it are going to be your Caucasian friends, or our Caucasian. Because it's that way in my office. I'm the only white guy. I'm the only white guy. I'm the only black white guy because my last name is white. I'm the only black white guy in my office. There's about 15 or 16 of us on our team. I'm the only black guy in there. I'm the only one that says I understand. The rest of them have no clue. So it's emotional, and I don't get emotional about it. But trust me, I grew up in the 70s. I was in a class in deep South Georgia. So if you want to talk about racial inequality, trust me, I know what it looks like. I see it even when I go home now. So it's not like it don't exist. It's not like it's not there. It's still there. It's just that people do a better job of kind of dressing it up a little bit. It looks good. We can make it look presentable, but it is what it is. I think that when you start looking at it from the perspective of where's your compassion, these things are highly charged and they're emotional. And so anytime people begin to talk about it, their emotions come out. No one stops for a minute and say, okay, let's just think about this from a rational perspective. We know that, there are white folks that get killed by police as well as there are black people that get killed by police. I'm not going to argue that point. That's a fact. There are Hispanic people that get killed by police. There are Asian folks that get killed by police. All right? I'm not saying that the police are actually doing it on purpose. I'm not going to say that either because I don't know. I'll never hop out there and say that. What I will say is that when we have a group of the population that is such a small number of the population overall, we're talking about the United States at large. When African Americans make up about less than 11% of the total population of the United States, and then because they're a smaller number of the total population, but they're killed at a higher rate. So that's just simple math. I'm just simplifying that for you. That's a simple math. White folks get killed by police as well. Black folks get killed, but they get killed at a higher rate. Something is kind of wrong with that. So there has to be something that drives it. I'm not saying it's necessarily racism in the sense of the folks with the guns are just, I hate black folks and I'm shooting everybody that's black. I'm not saying that, but just because there's a certain level of fear that most police officers, black, white, blue, or green, have in the minority community, just because of stereotypes, there's a higher rate. That is a fact. I don't have to, you can go out and look at the numbers yourself, man. But that's a fact. Just by the sheer number of population. Fact 2. We still remain the smallest, a small number of the total population in the nation. But we make up almost 60% of the incarcerated personnel in prisons. I was a corrections officer, I know that. You can't tell me that 11% of the population, that the majority of the folks that get locked up being minorities, that they're just inherently bad. That's craziness. So those are things that are factually true. But when we talk about this whole thing about, racial inequality and all these different things that are going on, and people want to raise awareness to it, and then you have Colin Kaepernick, and then, of course, the NFL players that are now kneeling during the national anthem. Now, remember, I'm a 10-year veteran, right? I was in for 10 years, first Gulf War. I played a part in it. I didn't go over there, but I played a part in it. I got an uncle that was in the military. I got a lot of folks in my family that are in the military. I got an uncle that retired out of the police force in New York. And even he, 30-something year veteran, retiree, he understands, but he's black. His colleagues don't understand because they're white. So it's about having compassion for each other, right? So people are passionate because they look at the flag, and that flag represents something to them. The blood, sweat. A lot of folks make the flag about the military. The flag is not about the military. In all honesty, the flag has nothing to do with the military. It doesn't. Does not. The flag has everything to do with the people in this country. You don't believe me? Say the Pledge of Allegiance for me. And when you get to the last portion of the Pledge of Allegiance, tell me where it's talking about the military. It's not. The Pledge of Allegiance says, indivisible, under God, justice for all.
Exactly.
Justice for all. So if you with a compassionate heart, if you care about your fellow friends, black, white, blue, green, Hispanic, Asian, whatever they might be, and if they're not receiving that full complement of justice that's enclosed in that statement, something's wrong.
Exactly.
Simple. But see, we can't get there because I'm so emotional. The flag is about the police, but if you listen to who's saying that, I just want you to just go back for a minute, man, and set your emotions on the side and just listen to the news and who's saying what. And then ask yourself, what are they really saying?
Exactly.
What are they really talking about?
Gotta wrap it up.
Yeah. Okay.
Gotta call Corey.
Yeah, that's a whole nother something. But anyway, hope y'all enjoyed this, man. It's good stuff.
Thank you for podcasting with your boy, Dad.
Hey, dude. Anytime, brother. I told you, I love to come on here. You kept the profanity down. That's a good thing.
I didn't want to cuss you here. I feel really weird when I cuss if you're in my presence.
It's funny. You feel weird when you curse. You feel weird when you drink beer around me. But
eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually. We'll get to that point.
So,
anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the podcast. I'll be back to recording bi-weekly for your ears. So, anyways, have a good day. Peace out.